Well, welcome to the MCG, and golly, this is what football is all about. This is like a finals-type atmosphere in warm weather. It's Carlton, Collingwood. This crowd is something over 80,000, I reckon, and people are standing up in places you don't see them standing on grand final day. Sure, there's room in the members, but this is just one of the biggest home and away crowds we have seen for a long, long time. Both teams coming in undefeated, having won their first two games. Carlton, Collingwood, well, haven't played each other in a final since 1988, but this is like the real deal, KB.
Well, we should get a fantastic game, and we've been just crying out for a big crowd. And here we are in round three. We're getting it between the two great traditional rivals. And we can see there Brett Ratton and also Allen and Rocker on screen. The roar goes around the ground.
And joining us in commentary today, Geelong champion Barry Stoneham. Welcome to the microphone, Barry.
Thanks, Drew. KB, great to be here. I've been lucky to actually see both of these teams once this year already, and both been very impressive. Looking forward to a great game. Capacity house. I was outside the ground before, and just a great atmosphere around the place. So looking forward to a terrific game of football.
Craig Bradley won the toss, and the Blues are going left to right in the first quarter. Nathan Buckley in the foreground, just this side of the centre circle. And Rocker gets the ball down to him. Anthony Rocker wins the first hit out. Carlton go forward for the first time. It comes off hands to the veteran, Gavin Brown. He bounces it to Sav. Difficult for him to bend down. Down goes O'Reilly, returning to league football, playing his first game for Carlton today. And the umpire comes in and will ball it up. Well, Gavin Brown's delivery could have been a bit better. He did kick 6 last week for the Collingwood reserves who played Port Melbourne. Well, we had the reserves here. Carlton and Collingwood played a curtain raiser here today, and the Pies won by 2 points. If that's a forerunner of what we're about to see, it should be a great day. Here's the first shot at goal, and straight through the middle by O'Brien. Just what the Pies wanted, Baz.
Yes, great start, Drew. You can see Anthony Rocker in the ruck and Josh Fraser on the bench for Collingwood today in the first quarter. And look, straight away, Anthony Rocker's had a really good influence already over Matthew Allen. 2 good knockouts and a handball there to O'Brien. Terrific kick from Shane O'Brien, who's been a really good find for Collingwood, coming from Brisbane, so a great start for Collingwood.
What a start for the Pies. And that man on screen, Shane O'Brien, recruited from the Brisbane Lions. Pies with first blood. Rocker again gets his hands on the ball first. Rice trying to crash his way through. Ratton, the playmaker, from inside the centre square, bombs the ball down. Richardson's got the big job on. Whitnell, they'll need a crummer. Hume does well. Feeds the ball out to Allen, who's come all the way from the centre square. It's a wild kick. It's out of bounds on the full. Mark Richardson has got the job on Lance Whitnell. Craig Bradley starting outside the centre square. Jukovic has been a star for the Pies in the first 2 games since coming across from the Bombers. Allen and Rocker, they go to ground. Presti Giacomo just shovel the ball out. Brown out in front. It came from Adkins. They were looking for a free kick, and he's got it. Good at 6 in the VFL. It was a rare appearance in the reserves, and that's 50. That is slack play. You can see here Rice just slightly getting to the back of Gavin Brown. But David Parkin would be very disappointed, Barry, to give away a silly 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, this early in the game, Simon Beaumont actually handballed the ball not properly back to Gavin Brown. So this early in the game, to have a penalty of that nature certainly puts Gavin Brown in scoring distance now, whereas beforehand he was a bit too far out, but certainly in the way he kicks for goal too, Gavin Brown, he should be right to kick this goal.
Well, during game day, Gavin Brown was spotlighted as a sharpshooter. He bends it back. He's got it.
Well, what a dream start for the Pies. OK, both teams undefeated, but a lot of people thought, well, maybe Collingwood just going on adrenaline and endeavour, and they're coming up against the mighty Carlton, who beat them by nearly 100 in the Millennium game on New Year's Eve. Maybe they thought, well, this might be a bit tough for the Pies, but what a start. Collingwood 2 goals, Carlton yet to score. Anthony Rocker has been superb so far in the ruck, but the bounce this time goes nowhere near him, makes it A clean effort for Allen, but Brown whipped in, got it to Buckley. Kicked by Buckley to full forward. Paul Williams! Oh, whistle's gone. It's coming back. It'll be a free kick to Sexton, who was interfered with as the ball was coming down. Michael Sexton towards the southern stand wing. The place is jumping here. Flips off the hands to Buckley. Buckley up towards the 50. Nobody really to kick it to. Sexton first back there. Pressure being applied. The crumbs come to Sav. The hand pass is good. Here's another one coming up. And the goal kick by Kinnear. Collingwood, 3 straight. Barry, what about this?
What a dream start. Certainly a pretty smart kick from Buckley also. Although he kicked the ball towards a Carlton player, it was in space and not actually too right to the player. Sexton had to work for the ball and therefore was out in front of him. And a great tackle from the Collingwood player. Put real pressure on Sexton here. And Sav Rocco, of course, butted up. Handball across. Great start for the Magpies. They're really full of running. And one player, Gavin Brown, watching him earlier on, is really fired up. I think the spell in the reserves really did something put a bit of a jolt into his system. He's very fired up for the game today.
And Kinnear playing on Koutafidis. He came all the way down from defence. O'Brien. The Pies are fired up. They're inspired. Great start. Williams. Push out. Who did 5 goals in the first half last week. 3 goals straight to the Pies. The Blues yet to score. McKay. All-Australian halfback. Rarely beaten. Kicks wide. He's looking for Koutafidis. He's got it. Well, he's the hero of the Blue fans. Koutafidis. Hamill is the target. Out in front. Prestigiacomo forced under the ball. Lockyer. It's been so good in the first 2 rounds to Richardson. Back in the side. Just tumbles the ball forward. Hickmott. Can't keep it in. For a toss back in. 55 metres around from Carlton's goal. Mercuria on screen. Been a good pick up from Sydney. 23 degrees. We expect the maximum of 26. Batheris just wobbles the ball forward. Jukovic. It's been so good to Buckley. He's been outstanding. To the half-forward line. On the burst. Tarrant goes to ground. Great tackle by Sexton. It's a loose ball. Williams. Magnificent pickup. A centering kick. Here comes Rocker. Rice put himself in front. Oh. Nelson gets support from Camporelli. Goes short and sets it up to the skipper. Bradley.
Oh, Mal Michael's hand pass only needed to be half decent, and it was 4 goals to nothing. Ball gets to the back. Here's Kinnear, who drifted up the ground to kick their 3rd goal. Here he is from half-back. Goes wide to the southern wing, and the good mark taken by McKay. 3 goals straight to nothing. Collingwood in front. Kick by McKay. Up towards half-forward. They gather near the boundary line and touch it out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in. Phenomenal burst at the start of the game by Collingwood. Carlton, favourites coming in.
Camporelli has picked up Nathan Buckley.
Kinnear and Koutafidis in ruck. Hume burst through. O'Brien got a little touch. And another one by Shane O'Brien. His kick bounces up towards the Coca-Cola logo. Eventually the hand pass by Lappin. And the mark taken just inside the boundary line by Hickmott. He penetrates the 50. Is a good kick and Hamill marks. So Carlton are going to get their first shot for goal, and we've been playing nearly 8 minutes. Aaron Hamill wearing Stephen Kernahan's old number 4. And what a great goal kicker the former champion captain was. A hush. You can't believe that nearly 90,000 can be this quiet. The roar will tell the result. So it took them a while, but now they're only 2 goals behind.
I just think the Carlton multi-pronged attack during the day will probably get on top of the Collingwood defence with Hamill, Lance Whitnell. We've got Koutafidis down there as well, so quite a few targets to kick for. A beautiful pass made to Hickmott there too, Hamill. Hamill's certainly a really strong body player and a terrific mark and a good kick to finish off his work.
settling goal for the Blues. Hamill took a big step last year, become one of their gun forwards. Rocker and Allen go at it. Give the points that time to Rocker, taken by Hickmott. He's a big game player. Inside 50, Hamill comes out. Some body work there as Richardson also is bundled over the line by Hume. So a test of strength as Hamill came out hard. They've just given his leg a bit of a knock.
Might have felt it more than the others.
Richardson and Whitnell to do the ruck work. Hume burrows in, feeds the ball off the Rat, and the general goes short. It's a poor kick, intercepted by Burns. And 50. So that's the second 50 against the Blues. Tough and committed, Scotty Burns. Edge of the centre square, kicks long. Rocker's going to be the target. Out in front, O'Reilly, the big fist away. Consummate defender, playing his first game for the Blues today.
Probably a poor option there, KB, going to Rocker with he had 3 or 4 Carlton guys on him and out wide also. Probably should have been better to go to the centre-half forward spot, middle of the ground.
Big Sav was very good in the second half last week. He booted 5 goals. And Paul Williams got 5 in the first half. So they shared it around. Fraser Brown taken away by Adkins. Just feeds the ball off to O'Brien. Shuffles it back. Lucuria, who's a good kick. Williams looks dangerous. Great play by McKay. Through for a behind.
Paul Williams in a great position, but McKay just getting a hand of the ball. And now Andy McKay takes the short kick in by Rice and goes with a bit of distance to midfield.
Free kick to Whitnell.
Pushing the back. It'll come back to Lance Whitnell. Well, with the bright sun, the temperature the way it is, the size of the crowd, it is just like September and finals time. Hume wrapped up in a good tackle. No whistle. Comes to Ratton. Centering ball. Hamill again. Can't take the mark. O'Brien front of the pack. Quick exchange, but Theris goes backwards to Lockyer. Oh, good football. Williams covering ground. Goes wide to the wing. Tarrant. They went missing and had a bit of a break during pre-season. Missed round 1. Today playing his second match for the season. Hand pass comes into Mansfield. Mansfield to the 50. Whitnell, good mark. Richardson making sure he's going nowhere.
They want 50, the Blues. And they've got it.
Gee, well, I've been dishing out the 50s. Collingwood have had 2. Now Carlton have 1. Do you think that was 50?
Well, once the player takes the mark, you're not allowed to rough him up. And it did appear from here, I'd like to see it again on replay, but it seemed he was over the top of Whitnell. I can't see any reason why he would do that. Because most of the players know that if you want to knock the ball out of their hands or rough them up or hold them up, it's 50 metres.
Goal to Whitnell. And the Pies now by just 7 points.
And a very, very costly penalty also. It's 3 in the first, could have mentioned before, and they really can't afford early in a game to have undisciplined acts to give a 50-minute penalty away. And here we see Lance Whitnell getting the goal, which from a penalty. And certainly if he hadn't get the penalty beforehand, he would have probably just scraped at the distance, but he actually went back to the goal line and kicked the goal quite easily. So they've got to be very careful, discipline-wise, to start the game well without any penalties given away to the opponents.
Collingwood by 7 points. Nick Davis on the ground. Jukovic off. Allen and Rocker, they just collide. Fraser Brown at the bottom of the pack. Nathan Buckley's had 4 possessions. His opponent's got Camporelli 1. It'll be a shootout. Camporelli's averaging 36 possessions this year, and Nathan Buckley 31. So 2 stars playing on each other. When Buckley goes to the half-forward line, Mansfield's got the job of picking him up. But on the ball, it's Camporelli. Freeborn tumbles it inside 50. Davis just onto the ground, leaves it for Tarrant. Big Sav comes through. Twisting and turning, some fancy footwork. Looks for Gavin Brown out wide. Around the corner. Great snap, Gavin Brown. He's got 2. Well, he kicked 6 goals in the VFL last week. Played in the forward line last year. It's a bit of a pinch hitter. and today he's come back into the side. He had an interrupted preparation, Barry, and last week gained some confidence and has started brilliantly.
Look, he's a class player, Gavin Brown, and certainly one of the older statesmen of Collingwood, but really when he gets the ball, he uses it every time very well. And also great poise from Sav Rocker. He's under pressure but didn't panic, composed himself, kicked the ball a little bit wide but certainly into the space of two Collingwood players, and Gavin Brown finished it off beautifully, and a great game so far.
Bit of a difference from playing at Port Melbourne last week to the MCG in front of this crowd this week, and Gavin Brown has just taken it in his stride. McKay didn't get a hand pass away. This kick smothered. McKay followed up to do it beautifully. Adkins has stepped up to senior football well. O'Brien just gets it away in time. Anthony Rocker. He goes long to brother Sav, and Brown in the pocket. Gavin Brown again. Plays on. Back to Sav. Snap. It's bending back. It's bending back. What a kick. Pies irresistible.
Got himself started from the centre bounce too. Anthony Rocker's really jumping very high against Allen and getting the ball out, and also following up for second efforts. And what a great kick from Sav Rocker there. Was on the boundary line more or less, and Gavin Brown played on from the mark, handballed across, and a great snap. But certainly an agile for a big guy of his size. And Anthony Rocker and his brother Sav are really instrumental in the first 15 minutes of this quarter.
Severio Rocker on screen. He's kicked one. Two to Gavin Brown. Nearly a capacity house here at the MCG. It holds just on 100,000 fans, and they're standing behind the goals. Adkins, clever play. Caught high was Lacuria, no free kick. Buckley tried to pinpoint it, loose ball, pounced on again by Adkins. Now the whistle is gone. Free kick is coming back, Nathan Buckley. Wonderful atmosphere at the MCG. We haven't had good crowds so far, but today they've come out in their numbers. Inside 50, dropping the ball was Allen. Sexton, they share the ball around to Camporelli. Across the half-back line, finds Hickmott. It's always been a big game player. Played very well in the finals. Camporelli goes short for Nelson. Danger. Davis on the scene late. Nelson at centre half-back. Blues trail 12-31. Hickmott again pumps the ball back towards centre half forward. Coming out hard was Batheris. Loose player O'Brien sets it up. It's a great kick. Finds Davis. Tarrant wants it short. He's going to pump the ball deep. It's a great kick. Finds Adkins. Well, he summed it up magnificently, young Nick Davis, who started on the bench. And Adkins, the young man from Leongatha, has made such a big impression in the first 2 weeks. Kicked a goal with his first kick in AFL football against the Hawks. From directly in front. He's got a chance to kick the Pies' 6th goal. And watch the fans behind the goals. What a start.
Well, amazing what a difference a new coach and a new match committee and a new year make. He played 17 reserves games last year, and under Shorey couldn't get a game, and he is starring.
I saw him in the first round against Hawthorn here, and geez, he was very impressive at first round, and going on again today. He's so quick and pretty smart for a guy of his age. I just think the Magpies look too fast for Carlton at this stage of the game. They've got fleet-footed players running down the ground very well, but the Carlton will come back, no doubt.
Well, I almost have to pinch myself to realise this is going on. 6-1 to 2 goals. Carlton played in the grand final last year, and Collingwood won the wooden spoon with just 4 wins for an entire season. They've won 2 out of 2 to start this one. Now, free kick in tight.
Wants 50.
Ball delivered high over Camporelli's head. Mind you, didn't make a huge effort to just reach up and get the ball. No 50 for that. Camporelli's been brilliant in the opening 2 rounds. Wanted to be cleared back to home in the off-season. The ball's on the attacking 50 for the Blues. Hamill slips 1 tackle. Can't get past Richardson. It spills to Hume. Into Whitnall. Whitnall for goal and hooked it for a behind.
.37 plays 13. Burns from the half-back flank to centre wing. It's a floater. Davis thought he had it. Was great play by Hickmott. Williams tries to keep the ball alive. Squeezed up on the line for a toss back in. 6-1-37 the Pies. The Blues 2-1-13. Paul Williams on screen. Andrew McKay picking up the dangerous Williams. Koutafidis strong to Nelson. Feeds it off to Hickmott. Just pumps the ball back towards the half-forward line. Fraser Brown goes to ground. Will be pinged. Lockyer. It's been one of the big improvers for the Pies, along with this man, Rupert Batheris, who's been averaging 7 marks in 23 possessions a game. He's an unknown. Prestigiacomo down from full back. The Pies are running everywhere. Magnificent play. Lucuria. Terrence inside 50. Here's the loose player. Batheris has run all the way from half back. Inside 50 and closing. Rupert Batheris. Tarrant running with the flight. Can't get there. Big fist as well from Hickmott. They'll toss it back.
Although no result, certainly great play, wasn't it, from the back players, from the half back line all the way down to the forward line. Use of the ball is fantastic.
And Batheris was entitled to be blowing pretty hard when he had that kick. Oh, clean possession. Michael. Hacked out of defence. Craig Bradley didn't have it when he was grabbed by Rocker. No whistle on the play. O'Reilly paddles towards the boundary line. O'Brien wants to keep it in, but out it goes. Well, Carlton fans not happy that Craig Bradley didn't get a free kick here. Made the most of the dive, I thought, but he might have been grabbed by Sav just the same. Boundary throw in, whistle, and another Carlton free kick. Might have made up for the lack of a Bradley free kick. Taken by Allen, quickly to Bradley. Bradley to midfield. It flips off the hands to the back. And doing everything right, but Theros gets it back. The kick bumbled up towards half forward. Young boy Adkins from Leongatha. He backs himself against Hume, comes unstuck. It spills to Hickmott. The hand pass away. Up to the cricket pitch area with Hume. Back goes Tarrant. Batheris comes wide. Sav Rocker on the centre wing. Off the left boot. Too high for Davis. And the ball out of bounds, attacking 50. It's 6-1 Collingwood. 2 goals, 1 Carlton. And we've been playing 21 minutes in the opening term.
Just under 8 minutes left in this first quarter. Last time these two sides met, Carlton by 57 points, and that was in round 17 when 53,000 fans turned up. Rocker, he's pushed it right. Through for a behind. The wooden spooners against the grand finalists.
And in head-to-head, the Blues have won 10 of the last 11 meetings.
David Parkin looks on. A bit shell-shocked with this opening by the Pies. They look very, very sharp. O'Reilly caught from behind, went the punch. Does his own crumbing. Has to backtrack, retreats. Goes short to Massey. Barrack for the Pies as a kid. Pumps the ball back towards Lappin. Lockyer's got the job on the dangerous Lappin. Prestigiacomo to Burns. They'll share the ball around. Allen hits it hard. Lappin goes to ground. They keep it alive. Squeezed up is Fraser Brown. Again, Bradley caught. Great tackling by the Pies. Hamill to Nelson. Wonderful play. Loose player is in Hume. He'll run into the open goal. Gets around Buckley. Hume. I think he's missed it.
Great defence by Buckley.
Great pressure. Great chase from Nathan Buckley. That's been, I suppose, one of the great things we've got in this first quarter is the pressure from all over the ground, the forwards, the backmen, and Nathan Buckley's chase there was really good for the team.
Just didn't overcommit himself then, Nathan Buckley, did he?
So it's Tarkin Lockyer to kick in for the Pies. In short to Buckley. Naturally, he's getting plenty of it. Play on, says the umpire. Lockyer follows up. Still only 40 out from defensive goal. A half volley to Fraser, who started the game on the bench, the #1 draft pick. Just been on a minute or two. Kick with a bit of distance, clears the pack. Gavin Brown runs onto it. He's getting around like a 2-year-old Gavin Brown. Whistle's gone. He was taken late. Is it coming back to Brown or to be relayed?
Pushing it back, Drew. It was paid, I think. Back to where the kick was.
It must have been as he was kicking the ball. If it had been after he kicked the ball, it would have been further down the field. Not much in that.
No.
Against Massey. So Brown takes it from the boundary line. Ball stays in and Massey wishes it hadn't. Gavin Brown cleans him right up. And I think he nearly took the wind out of himself. So hard did Gavin Brown come in. 38-14 Collingwood's way.
Collingwood by 24 points. Big chance for the Pies. Throwing on 50. Hickmott, I thought he was caught high. Kinnear with strength. Licuria, who's a very good kick, tries to set it up. He was looking for Rocker. Bit too much carry on the ball. And Whitnell,
Last line of defence, Whitnell,
who started in the goal square, is now in defence. Kicks the ball wide. Dropping short, Camporelli. From the half-back line. Collingwood have come out of the blocks looking very, very sharp. Gavin Brown kicking 2 quick goals. O'Brien, fancy footwork, great tackle by Hamill. He'll get the free kick. Whitnell is now back on the forward line, covering tremendous territory. He's got Richardson to beat. Couldn't take the mark. Nelson closing quickly. Boundary throw in.
So Mark Richardson coming into the lineup today along with Gavin Brown and Nick Davis. Wosley out injured with a shoulder injury. Leon Davis and Tucky omitted. They played in the early game. Scott Burns gets a tough kick out of a big pack. It sits up for Craig Bradley, the oldest man in the competition. He's decked out on the outer wing. Ball along the boundary line to the 50. Defensive punch comes to the front. Nelson to Brown. Ratton, half volley, no mark. Floats the hand pass over the top. Lappin, impossible angle. Across the face for a behind. Well, last week he could do no wrong. And his first shot today, 1 point only. 6-2 to 2-3.
Tarkin Lockyer, who's been in great form for the Pies, has really filled a role. He's been a real surprise packet in defence. Just a handful of games coming into this season, along with a number of his teammates, short to Davis, just in his second season. Norwich Rising Star nomination last year. Just started to drop away towards the end of the season. Coming out is Richardson. Just adds a bit of height and mobility. Could be a very important player. Kicks to Williams, who's on the burst. Gets around and gets plenty of run from Licuria. Centre wing, Licuria. A casual bounce. A look away hand pass to Brown, is on 50. He's booted too. Licuria, hard running. Sets it up to Tarrant. Back to Licuria. This will be the goal of the day. He's caught. It was great running. He just couldn't have finished it off. And there's a strong mark to Mel Michael.
That's 3 handballs too many.
To Buckley. They've got loose players, and Williams has marked. He'll shoot from 50. Tremendous atmosphere at the ground. Capacity house. And Paul Williams, coming off a big game last week against the Crows, booted 5 in the first quarter. And that came from Buckley, who averages 31 possessions a game. Williams from directly in front. The Magpie Army just revving up the voice boxes as he lays back, unloads. He's pushed it left.
Carlton just seemed to be lacking a target across the sort of centre wing half back coming out of the fence there. They didn't have a big target to kick to, and that's why the Mal Michaels and the Rockers are getting back and getting a kick when they kick the ball out of the fence, and therefore repelling any of the, I suppose, defensive attacks that Carlton are trying to make up with the lack of targets.
Well, when Whitnell got back deep into defence, at that stage, Lappin was the only Carlton player forward of the centre circle. And he's built like a piece of string, as we know. Massey up to centre wing. Prestigiacomo the mark, but the free kick goes to Hamill, who comes up limping.
Fletcher's on for the Blues. Hickmott off.
Kick by Hamill. Lappin comes hard, very hard, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Oh, strong play by Richardson, backing back.
Stood his ground. He could be hit by worse people than Lappin, but he did have some momentum going.
But he wouldn't have known who was coming.
No. Throw in on the 50. Forward line for the Blues. Whitnell over the top. Comes to O'Brien. Really starting to motor Shane O'Brien. Back towards the wing. And the mark is taken by Houghton. Playing against his old side. Given the flick by Collingwood for disciplinary reasons. And he sharpened himself up in suburban football in Melbourne. Here comes a hand pass wide to Massey. Massey goes short, but the short kick is too long, if you can follow that, and it's out of bounds.
I can follow that, Drew. It was a poor kick by Chris Massey, youngest player in last year's grand final. Chance for the Blues. Throwing 20 metres around from goal. Just shoveled out by Richardson, went to Freeborn. Got a touch of the fumbles was O'Brien, but Prestigiacomo does well and kicks the space. Atkins is a very good player and he's quick. Gets around Mansfield, sets it up. Williams runs hard, heads to the centre square to the half-forward line. Tarrant, can he get there? Drops it on the half volley. The mine was ticking over. Back to Tarrant. Pumps the ball deep. Here's Brown.
Is this the best Brown's played for years?
Well, it's great to see Gavin Brown, former captain of Collingwood. He's been a great leader. Played in their premiership side in 1990. Started off as a wingman. He's played all over the place for Collingwood and has been one of their best players. 241 games today to Gavin Brown. Coming off playing in the VFL last week. Going for his third goal for the quarter. 25 metres out. Gavin Brown, take a bow.
Well, he started as a wingman, then he went to defence, and however old he is, his real age is about 58 because he's been knocked around a hell of a lot. But is he looking young today?
Yeah, he's certainly a very hard player, Brownie, and he's very hard to play to match up on because he's a very strong overhead, but also a good ground player. As we can see over the years and also today, a lot of hard ball gets he does get on the ground, but also in the air he's taken a few strong grabs and plenty of space for him too down the forward line, which really does help the Collingwood forward line when there's plenty of space in front and also behind them.
Phenomenal first quarter by Collingwood. 7-3, 3 of the goals to Gavin Brown. Carlton, 2 goals, 3. 2.25 minutes to quarter time. Josh Fraser in the middle. Gets it down, but now the Blues have it. Hume gets it away, and the kick out of the middle. It spills forward for the Blues. Burns is back there. Camporelli was grabbed. He didn't have it. Free right in front to Campo.
He's really stepped up this year, Barry. Scott Camporelli's always been a good player, but it's just this year in the first couple of games he's assumed star status for the Blues. Yeah,
he's a class player, really silky skills, Camporelli. He really finishes off most of the time, and to have him on brigade with the likes of Bradley and Ratton and Brown and Camporelli really is a damaging on-ball brigade for Carlton.
Certain goal. That's 99 goals in his career for Scott Camporelli. And he wanted to go back to Adelaide in the off-season. Blues did well to keep him.
Yeah, certainly, as I said, a very skillful player and a much-needed goal for Carlton there because Collingwood were really putting these screws in on. They were really pumping the ball into the forward line many times in the last 10 minutes, and Carlton 2 or 3 times in their 50-metre zone. So a really much-needed goal for them. And he's the sort of player who can, when the time's right, do the right thing. He did it there. And look, I think they'll be looking for more value from Camporelli and the likes of those guys during the rest of the day today.
Josh Fraser in the ruck. Against Trent Houghton, the former Pie. Fraser down to Fraser Brown, who just pumps the ball back inside 50. Big fist away from Richardson. It was good defensive play, pounced on by Lappin. Danger here for the Pies. And again he's missed. Twice now he's missed in this opening term.
It's a good sign for Carlton in a way that's out of a centre clearance because it's probably one of the few they've had this quarter with Brown getting out of the centre, and that's what happens when you get the ball out of the centre. It certainly puts the forwards on the front foot, and it's a good sign for Carlton in that area.
Chris Massey has been moved on to Gavin Brown, who has seen off Rice. Lockyer short to Adkins. 6 possessions for Damien Adkins, including a goal. So they might have to just give this young player a bit of respect. Kinnear got up high, did well with one grab, then lost it and threw it up in the air. Nelson made some big strides last year at Glandular Fever when he first came across from Sturt. Again, Lappin. This could bounce through. He's got it. Well, that's what he's capable of doing. He's a goal kicker, an uncanny goal kicker.
that is the best example of a front and square on his sort of crumb play. That's his bread and butter for Matthew Lappin. And just seen a good kick from Nelson into the forward 50, right in the middle of the corridor, and Lappin was right at the feet of the Carlton target. And a great kick. That's what he's there for, to kick the ground ball goals. And certainly after a couple of near misses in the first probably 20 minutes of the game, to capitalise with that goal at this time of the quarter is very important for the Carlton team going into quarter time.
Mick Malthouse has transformed Collingwood. Less than a minute to quarter time. They might get another one before the siren. O'Brien inside the 50. Massey, who's gone back onto Brown, takes the mark. Floats the hand pass over the top to Beaumont, who in this game last year kicked 8 goals in half of football against Collingwood. It spills now to Bradley. Bradley to centre wing. Good mark, Koutafidis. He's run down. Good chasing by O'Brien. And he's still in with a chance. Adkins hard at it. Nelson back to Bradley. Bradley inside centre half forward. Ratton underneath the pack. Well done, Houghton. Oh, that's high. Right in front. Free kick against Lucuria.
Yeah, that was a crude tackle. A silly tackle. Now, Gavin Brown's going from the field. Now, he may have hurt himself.
He's limping, isn't he?
And Ben Johnson comes on. So there's a blow to Collingwood because he's booted 3 goals in this first quarter. And Lappin, who had 6 goals coming into this game, that's a crude tackle. It's already kicked a goal.
Well, Collingwood were a mile in front, but Carlton have finished this term off strongly. There goes the siren for quarter time. Camporelli had a free kick right in front, which was a gimme goal. This is a bit further out, but he should still kick it, Lappin. I'm not sure. He's offline. What a miss that is. He's kicked 1 goal 3. And in the opening round of the season against Brisbane, he kicked 5 goals. Well, the finish by the Blues has sort of kept the Collingwood fans a little bit quiet, but what a first term by the Pies. 7-3 to 4 goals 5. Remarkable football.
Certainly was, and I'm sure Michael Malthouse here would be a little bit disappointed with the last 2 or 3 minutes of that quarter, because they had about a 5-goal break and have Matthew Lappin kicking 1 goal and just missing that one also. Doesn't really read well for the second quarter, because you really, the last 5 minutes of each quarter is really very important for the game, and to have Carlton having a couple of pot shots of goal late in that term really doesn't pay well for the Collingwood guys. But look, a fantastic quarter of footy from Collingwood. They come out really all guns blazing and very fast, fleet-footed sort of crew, like Williams and O'Brien and these types of players are really playing very good football.
So it's a 16-point lead to Collingwood at the first change. Barry Stoneham has joined us in the commentary box, the Geelong champion, fresh from his great win over at Football Park last night. Carlton go forward for the first time in the second quarter, but the mark is chopped off here by Kinnear. He kicked a goal in the first quarter once he drifted down and took Koutafidis with him. Kicked by Kinnear up towards half forward. It spills. Johnson, Davis over the top. Oh, poor hand pass by Tarrant, and they've lost it. Koutafidis clears from half-back for the Blues. Is that a push? Yes. Out. Against Lockyer. Well, they've taken it quickly. Lappin, he was allowed to go on way over the mark. Hand pass to Hume. Nobody in the goal square. Burns gets back for Collingwood. Last line of defence. Round the boundary line to the 50. A spill by O'Brien, but he did have 10 possessions in the first quarter. Shane O'Brien. His kick towards wing. And Mal Michael takes the mark. Into the centre corridor. Gee, he wants Buckley, but he had to work pretty hard to get it down to the front to Kinnear, Nathan Buckley. Koutafidis might have taken his eye off the ball there for a moment. Hand passes flipped up by Sexton to Ratton, now with Massey, and the Blues doing it in short fashion through Beaumont, Allen. Another short pass by Allen, and at full stretch, Fletcher takes the mark. Fletcher goes longer. One out is Whitnall. And the punch, will it get to the line? Well, Lockyer makes sure it does and rushes it behind.
Lockyer for the Pies. Got a loose player in Freeborn. Koutafidis is closing. Well, kicked 3 goals in a quarter for the Kangaroos in their grand final win. Glenn Freeborn, second year with the Pies. Richardson, who's come into the side today. Matheris goes wide looking for O'Brien, who's already had 10 possessions. Camporelli is having a big duel with Buckley. 7 possessions each. Lappin's kicked 1 goal, 3 in the first term. Stands and delivers. It's a floater. Too much carry for Hamill. In fact, he may have lost it in the sun. Lockyer to O'Brien. Just keeps on winning the ball. Always finds himself loose. Michael, the high flyer, off hands. Boundary throw in. 7:3:45 the Pies. The Blues 4:6:30.
And Gavin Brown hasn't come out for the second quarter. We saw him injured just before quarter time. That'll be a loss because he kicked 3 great goals in the first term.
And a great leader too, Gavin Brown. Look, when he ran off, looked very disappointed. So obviously a bit of an injury there, hamstring or a soft tissue injury.
Was pinched by Camporelli. It's a high ball. Whitnell's the target. Backing back. Rupert Matheris. What an improved player. Goes wide again. Shane O'Brien. I don't think anyone from Carlton knows who's playing on him. Driven in the ground every 50 metres for Davis. Son of Craig Davis, who played for both Carlton and Collingwood.
Craig will be watching this from somewhere up in Sydney or Canberra. He's been great for New South Wales football.
So this gives Nick Davis a chance. His first game for the season. There's some big raps on him. Goes short, loose. Finds another youngster in Ben Johnson, who usually is a thumping left foot kick. Kicked 3 goals in the third quarter in his first game of AFL football in the opening round against Hawthorn. And don't be surprised if he doesn't get onto this. Swinging back, swinging back. He's kicked a goal.
That was the old tumble punt from Ben Johnson. Wasn't a beautiful off the boot, but certainly got the desired result. And I'm sure David Parker once again taking Michael Mansfield off the ground now for that 50-metre penalty that he had put on Davis, because that's the 3rd one for Carlton in just over a quarter, and really unnecessary sort of tactics. And unfortunately, it resulted in a goal for the Carlton, for the Collingwood team, from a thumping kick from Ben Johnson.
So with Mansfield being benched after giving away the 50, Rice wins a reprieve. He was cut up early by Gavin Brown. Now Gavin Brown's off the ground injured. Back in the middle we go. Anthony Rocker beats the All-Australian ruckman Allen. Well played by Rocker. Here's Big Sav. Didn't reach it. Buckley, front of the pack. Oh, brilliant hands. Away to Williams. Outside of his boot. Couldn't bring it back enough. Paul Williams, 2 shots for goal. 2 behinds. He kicked 5 in the first half last week. Here's Dean Rice back on the ground, coming in short, and the mark taken by Beaumont. 8 goals in a half of football in this game last year. Incredible.
Koutafidis, 7 possessions. Backing back. Good strong mark by Scotty Burns. Keeps his eye on the ball. He's a brave player. Now a transfer of play. They'll backtrack. Finds Adkins. He'll carry the ball wide. Long lead was Freeborn. He had 2 to beat. It wasn't a good kick. Camporelli can share the ball with Hume from the edge of the centre square. Just belts the ball back. Here's the high flyer. It was Allen. Bradley had weighted down. Maybe there was a bit of a mismatch there, but the Pies come away. Richardson, casual bounce. Time for think music. The mind was ticking over. Mel Michael, edge of the centre square, back to Richardson. It's in slow motion. Kicks the ball inside 50. Lands in no man's land. Coming out hard was Buckley. Didn't get the bounce he wanted. Camporelli did. Koutafidis from half back tries to drill it and finds Craig Bradley, the skipper. Quick hands to Ratton, the general, the playmaker. Sets it up. The high flyers. Prestigiacomo. Hamill. Clever play. Cross the face of goal, and through for a behind from Allen.
That's great pressure, isn't it, from the Collingwood defence? I mean, more than once, the last 2 times it's gone down there, Prestigiacomo has spoiled Matthew Allen, and then a great tackle from one of the Magpie defenders. Great pressure, and would have been a certain goal other from that tackle.
Tarrant off the ground for Collingwood, and Josh Fraser, who started both quarters on the bench. He's come on. There he is, number 25, just overrunning that. Puts pressure on Sexton. A balk by Whitnell. Williams flies high for the Pies. Favola's just come on for Carlton. Oh, that's terrific defence, but it's knocked down. Have to do it all again. Butheris, there was a throw in there. Carlton's free kick on the 50. It'll go to Ratton. It was a quick exchange and a bit too quick for the umpire. David Howlett ruling a throw. And there it was. One arm pinned by Ratton. Can he make it from 51 metres? Not even close. Lappin! Well, the lead is 21 points. But they're just signs late in the first quarter that Carlton could chip away, and the endeavour by Collingwood mightn't last the distance. It was phenomenal, the start they had, but Lappin will now shoot for goal from right in front. Mind you, he hasn't brought his kicking boots today. He's kicked 1-3 in the first quarter. But he'd find it hard to miss this. Straight through for a goal.
He's been very lively, Matthew Lappin, as you say. He kicked 3 points, but 2 goals now, and certainly it was a great mark from him. I just think the Collingwood defenders that in that little spate of handballs probably handball too much. When you're in defence and you're under pressure, the best thing you can do is kick the ball long down to the wing or half-forward line and get the ball out of the territory. And in about 9 or 7 sort of handballs that went, you know, under pressure to opponent who had his back to the play, and certainly made it hard for their defence to get it out.
52 plays 37, 2 goals to Lappin. I know Stan Alves, his old coach at St Kilda, had big raps on Lappin. Takes a terrific mark. He's an uncanny goal kicker. Pies from the centre square. Rocker. It came from Lacuria. Loose players running down deep in the forward line. Great grab. Nick Davis started on the interchange bench. And McKay closed quickly, but kept his eyes on the ball.
It's not bad when you can bring the #1 draft choice onto the ground, put him in the ruck, and Anthony Rocker goes to centre half forward.
Well, Josh Fraser has been a wonderful pickup. He looks like he's going to be a real star of the future. Nick Davis from 25 metres out. No angle to speak of. Just a couple of steps and bangs it through.
Well, it was a pretty quick transfer out of the middle. Fraser wins in ruck. Lacuria, a hurried kick. Anthony Rocker's gone from the ruck to centre half forward. Good strong mark. Passed it off. Finished up as a goal. (9-4) to 5 goals 7. Warm day in Melbourne, but cloud cover today, as distinct from yesterday's absolutely cloudless day. Fraser wins in the middle, trying to find Buckley. Tough ball to win in there. He wasn't doing anything to get it out, and that is against you. You're holding the ball. You've got to make some attempt to get rid of it. And the Collingwood player just threw himself at it, Adkins, and made no attempt. Comes to the front of this pack. Ratton gets boot to ball. Burns. Oh, good vision. Great use of the body. Actually, the umpire's paid the free kick, and it's against the Collingwood player, and it goes to Fletcher. He takes it quickly. Fletcher, inside centre half forward. Punch comes to the front. Favola, down he goes. O'Brien, a hurried kick. Nathan Buckley camped underneath it and marks at half-back for the Pies. Buckley up to 10 possessions now. Michael over the top. No mark. Comes to McKay, running out of room. Michael, a vice-like grip, holding the ball.
McKay was trying to umpire. He indicated to the umpire he thought he was caught high. High ball inside 50. Coming out hard. Overrunning the ball was Johnson. The juggler was Houghton. It's a hot ball. Going to ground was Beaumont. Wild hand pass. Atkins, quick snap. The teenager's a high ball. Just pushed it left. Well, he's an impressive young player. 17 games in the reserves last year. Has really stepped up. He's a major on-ball contributor now for Collingwood. 9-5-59. Carlton 5-7-37. Last year's wooden spooners up against the grand finalists. Last time they met, the Blues by 57 points. Nelson stepped up last year for Carlton. Kicks the ball wide. They can raffle it. Taken by Houghton. He's made his way back to AFL football through the local competition, East Burwood, where he was the star of the competition. He's doing well. Pumps it back to the half-forward line. Hamill just couldn't hold it. His opponent was pushed under the ball. A throw-in. 2 kicks from goal.
Actually, KB, really, we build these Carlton-Collingwood games up to be something, but for about the last 5 years, they've been as dull as dishwater because the Blues have been too good for them.
Well,
not today.
Not so far today. Hamill. Oh, great smother off the boot. So the Pies have been desperate. Buckley gets the wrap from Adkins. And there's Nathan Buckley. He can do the brilliant things. He's just showed us he can do the hard things as well. Whitnell in the ruck against Richardson. Being pinched that time by Bradley. Just tumbles the ball forward. Lappin goes to the ground. He's been dangerous, but Theris has been very good. Back to Buckley. Says, lead towards me, Lacuria, and he does so, and he marks on the half-back flank. Here comes Mel Michael. He's got it. Lost it on the second grab. Burns all tied up by Fraser Brown. A ball up on the edge of the centre square.
That is all leap, isn't it, by Mel Michael?
Looks very lively down the forward line, as opposed to the back line last year. Looks very good down the forward line today.
Well, Tony Shaw always felt that he was more dangerous as a forward and maybe a better forward than a backman.
Great athlete.
But he just didn't feel last year he had the capabilities in defence to play him up forward.
And Michael wins in the ruck. Bradley for the Blues. Belts it forward. Oh, Buckley. Magnificent. He really stretched the hamstrings to get to that. Well played by Nathan Buckley. A lot say he's the best going around. Some would argue it's Carey. But by gee, they're both up there in the stratosphere. Exchange of hand passes. Comes back to Sexton. Kick back towards midfield. Comes to Kinnear. Across the ground he goes. Open territory. A lot of green grass there. Beaumont was taken high. The whistle's gone. It'll come back to Beaumont. Well, he's not going to kick 8 goals in half a game of football today. He's been playing in defence this year. Across the ground he goes. Ratton just behind the wing. Monster crowd here at the MCG. 22-point lead to Collingwood. Camporelli. Favola offers a lead. Camporelli short passes in. McKay takes the mark. Oh, shocking kick by McKay. It wobbled and floated and dipped. Fletcher had enough space. Comes to the front of the pack. Burns the hand pass to Buckley. Nathan Buckley, the absolute general of this game. Rocker! Mel Michael! Well played, son. Open goal coming up. Kick by Orchard.
Well, Scotty Burns was great in defence, taking that crumb and then setting it up to Nathan Buckley. And then Severio Rocker really did hit the ball hard. It was great vision there, Barry.
That's for sure. It's a beauty having a long kicker like a Nathan Buckley from the half-back line all the way down to the half-forward line into the forward 50. And certainly a great kick. Anthony Rocker, Mel Michael also a great attack on the ball. Carlton said we're relying on a big mark in the forward line where Collingwood are using the ball better in their forward line.
That was Mark Orchard's first touch, a goal.
Collingwood by 28 points. They're led by 16 points at quarter time. Josh Fraser in the ruck. Fraser Brown tried to shark it, kicked off the ground by Camporelli, and playing in front is Whitnell. Well, he's their gun forward. He's the key to the Blues. 55 metres out. Going right to the line. Off hands and through for a behind.
Just shows the importance of a centre-half forward playing in front, 2 of his man, with a quick kick out of the centre, and with Whitnell in front, an easy chest mark.
1 goal, 2 to Whitnell. Lockyer quick to respond with a kick out here. Scotty Burns, he's been magnificent in defence. Kicks the ball long. Fraser caught from behind, sandwiched up. Here's Freeborn. A bit of experience, a couple of bounces, runs the 50. Long bomb. I think he's just missed. Is it a goal? No. I fancied the reaction of Freeborn was that he had just missed it. Rice had a couple of goals kicked on him by Gavin Brown. Was taken from the field. Then Brown kicked his third on Massey. And a big blow to the Pies. He limped off just before quarter time. Whitnell in front. The big fist away. It's from Richardson. They'll need a crummer. Pounced on by Fraser at 6'6". Kicks a high ball. Michael. Vertical leap. Straight up. Mel Michael. Centering kick. Williams interfered with his teammate. Now the ball's coming back. So luck's a fortune.
Michael's taking 4 marks, all really strong one grabbers, aren't they? Straight up a vertical jump. A fantastic jumper and an athlete and really solid mark.
I wonder what he was like in kick to kick at school in Papua New Guinea. He'd be getting it a bit, wouldn't he, up there, Mel?
Well, it's straight over the top of Massey. Mel Michael just adds versatility and mobility to the forward line. This great athleticism. Can he finish it off with a goal? From just outside of 50. It's a big kick. He hammers it home.
What a kick.
Great kick from outside 50. And I mentioned before the game about Carlton's forward line and how they had multi-pronged attack. Well, today, Collingwood got Mel Michael, the Rockers, fantastic forward line setup, and certainly it's all working well together for them today. And Mel Michael, as you mentioned, a thumping kick from outside 50, and another great goal for the Magpies.
Well, there's still 7 minutes to half-time. They've kicked 11 goals, 6 to 5-8. 11-6 would be what they'd kick in an entire game plenty of times last year. Buckley, front of the pack, somehow gets the ball out. Kinnear buried, and the umpire will come in and ball it up. Nathan Buckley's had 14 possessions. Shane O'Bree's had 15. On the other side, Scott Camporelli for Carlton's had 14. There's Neil Baum, former teammate of yours, KB. Yes. Now the football manager with the Pies.
And former coach of Melbourne.
Yep. He'd be pretty pumped, I reckon, about the way Collingwood are going. Richardson wins in ruck. They've got a few choices, haven't they? Orchard. Lacuria in a hurry. It clean bowls Rocker. Williams. Sav. Well, from a ball up about half back, it has gone straight down the corridor in a trice. Mark Richardson won it in ruck, and Carlton couldn't get a hand on the ball after that. Rocker for his second. And he approaches 500 goals for his career. That's 495.
This is the market stuff from Collingwood. 40 points up with 20-minute mark of the second quarter. They're just pushing the ball forward with every chance they get, and it's not always tidy, but the way Williams got the ball on a boot quickly and Rocker was in position behind his man to come forward and mark the ball. Just really impressive stuff, and they're getting from strength to strength at the moment.
The Magpie Army is roaring. They lead by 40 points. They've got 9 individual goal kickers, the Pies. 12-6-78 to 5-8-38. Hamill down to Ratton. Quick kick. Lockyer, a much improved player. It's been brought back. I'm not quite certain why. Doesn't matter because O'Bree hasn't had an opponent all day. Edge of the centre square, bangs it long. Buckley's a target. He's got it. It was a clever mark. He's on 50. Can he unload?
We'll check this.
The crowd want him to.
Will this bring the Collingwood Army again to their feet? They've been standing since the opening bounce.
Well, he kicked one from this distance last week to put them in front.
Nathan Buckley. 14 possessions. 55 metres out. He's pushed it left.
I'll tell you what, if Collingwood win this, the Queen has got no hope of being on the front page of the paper tomorrow in Melbourne. This will be a wraparound. Collingwood's back.
There was a little shove out there to Nelson as well. There's a good mark. Good taken by Sexton. Just over 5 minutes left in this second quarter.
Centre wing, the ball knocked away by Richardson. He struggled for recognition for a long time, son of Wayne Richardson. And this is his first game in the seniors this season. But just in the last few minutes, he's done some great things. 12-7 to 5-8. Just over 5 minutes to half-time. Richardson again down to O'Brien. And Collingwood just winning the ball left, right, centre. Allen off the ground for the Blues, which doesn't help. Here's Anthony Rocker. Nobody in front of him. He'll get one. Well, he tried to miss it, but he got it.
Well, it's certainly Carlton put Hamill into the ruck in the centre bounces, which is an emergency tactics for them, I think. Shane O'Brien is at no opponent all day. He's had, how many steps has he had so far? He's had 17 disposals. He actually followed his kick up before. He's got another one down to Anthony Rocker. And as we see here, he really pushed down very well. And he's had no opponent. And Anthony Rocker has been very, very lively all day for the Collingwood team.
Anthony Rocker becomes the 10th Collingwood player to kick a goal. Shane O'Brien, 17 possessions, not one of them in a contest. Buckley, the Pies, they're inspired. Rice, a steadying mark. Goes wide to Ratton. Time to weigh up the options. Half forward line, Houghton. Now the loose play on the edge of the square, dangerous kick. Thumped away that time by Freeborn. Nelson's caught by Buckley and dumped. Bradley shovels the ball out to Ratton. The old hands combined. Houghton finds Sexton 45 metres out. To the right. Minor score. $13,785. 5-9-39. Who would have thought, after they watched that Millennium game, that Collingwood could hit back in round 3?
I had to endure that. It was nearly 100 points the difference.
Brendan Favola that day, that night, kicked 12 goals for Carlton. Started on the bench today.
So far, he hasn't had a touch. He's laid one tackle. That's all he's done.
Freeborn. Defensive 50. Atheris runs hard. And Gavin Brown, who kicked 3 goals in the first quarter, is off the field at quarter time. Josh Fraser tries to keep the ball alive. Boundary throw in. Just under 4 minutes in this second quarter.
You know, David Parkin's really big on the 1%ers and the sacrificial acts. Well, Carlton aren't delivering today. At quarter time, the hard ball gets what Collingwood's way 24-6. So at the 50-50s, Carlton are being absolutely murdered by this team that couldn't beat a drum last year.
Well, Lappin's been dangerous. He's booted 2 goals through. There's a throw. And well picked up straight away by Chris Mitchell. This would have been good for the Melbourne Storm. They would have been very happy with that. Lance Whitnell booted a goal in the first quarter. The Blues need this one from the young gun from 45 metres out. Doesn't let them down.
There's a much needed goal for Carlton there, and that's what they need to do, the forwards, to exert a bit more pressure. And Lance Whitnell there, a very strong tackle on the Collingwood opponent, and they threw the ball out. And that's what they need. Go back and a nice deliberate kick for goal. Very much needed for the Carlton team. And the targets like Allen, Hamill and Whitnell need to lift a bit more, take a few more strong marks in the forward area for the Blues to get back into the game.
Fraser Brown's had 5 touches. Way down. Carlton did finish the first quarter strongly, and there's time left. There's 3 1/4 minutes. They could get 2 or 3 more before half time. and they'd have something to build on for the second half. Oh, beautifully worked. Where was this kid last year? He must have been killing them in the reserves. Adkins to Savrocker. Front of the pack, Williams with pace. Just gets it away to Buckley. Still inside 50, Lacuria. Oh, well done, O'Brien. And here's another one.
Well, he's kicked 2 goals. And if I was the Carlton Brain Trust, I'd be trying to work out who's playing on him.
He's on his own. He's certainly like a 19th man there at the moment. He's all day. The first half he's been on his own, all over the wings and the half-forward flankers, and he's a really polished performer as far as his skills go. And it was really well done here for Collingwood. They really composed themselves and didn't panic, didn't rush the ball out of bounds or a quick kick, with Nathan Buckley handballing backwards to a player. And look, Shane O'Brien, like, just fantastic first half of football from him, and he's certainly best on ground from my point of view so far in the game.
Might be worth calling for a count. Collingwood by 46 points. What a game Shane O'Brien is playing. 19 possessions and 2 goals. Whitnell is the key up forward. He's booted 2. Inside 50. Bradley had 3 to beat. Favola. Bending it back. Brown. Not Brown. Make that Burns. He hit it hard. He's been good. Scotty Burns. No, it was clever. Clever kick. He's booted 7 goals in the first 2 games for Vola, so he's in good touch. And David Parkin said he should have kicked 15. So he's had some opportunities, but Scotty Burns has been a magnificent player. They've got Burns in defence, O'Brien on the ball, along with Buckley and Adkins. And up forward they had Gavin Brown with 3 goals, 10 individual goal kickers, Freeborn. Just getting back to some of that form he showed with the Kangaroos. Pumps the ball wide. Richardson's a target. Off hands for a toss back in. Hamill on screen. 91 plays 46. Seven possessions and a goal to Hamill. Doing the ruck work along with Burns. Lappin has been dangerous. Camporelli has won a bit of the ball as well. Richardson. Well, he's been a much maligned player, but the times I've seen Collingwood play, he's always been pretty serviceable and handy. Can play forward and back. And with a bit more support, he could be a pretty handy player for the Pies this year. Williams all over the field looking for Rocker. I thought maybe a free kick. Might have been a bit manhandled there by Sexton.
Seems much fitter, Anthony Rocker, this year. A great lead from the half forward on all the way down. I think in past seasons you mightn't have seen it from Anthony Rocker, and he's developed that in his game this year.
It's a good point, Barry. He said just the fact he's more matured as a player now. Houghton to Lappin. Some run for the Blues. Whitnell looks dangerous. Just couldn't quite get there. Richardson heads straight for the line.
Yes, wasn't a bad option from the back pocket.
Been watching one of the great fullbacks, Mick Martin. That's what Mick would have done. Straight back over the line.
Fortunately, when Mark Richardson looks in the mirror, he gets a better look than me.
Unless he's throwing darts.
Yeah. Forward 50 for the Blues. They desperately need a goal in this last minute, but Williams rips it away for the Pies. Over the centre circle. It's interference against McKay. Whistle's gone. Goes to Buckley. Now Nathan Buckley's in the middle of the ground. He's got Anthony Rocker and Sav Rocker in the goal square. This could be anything. Sav on the lead. Beautiful kick.
Great kick. Oh.
Sav just couldn't quite hang on. It comes down to the front. Hand pass by Hume to Rice. Rice has had a tough day. Out wide to Hamill. On the centre wing. Up towards half forward. Whitnell. He's got the run of it now. But well done by Richardson. But Whitnell first to recover. High to full forward. All Collingwood, and the mark is taken by Kinnear. Time running out for Carlton to narrow the gap before the siren at half-time. And I reckon the Collingwood fans will... Well, we haven't got a roof at the MCG, but if there was one, they'd raise it at half-time. Batheris has run down. Lacuria to Batheris. He loses it in Hamill's tackle. Lacuria once again. Into Richardson. Kicked by Richardson. Over the centre of the ground. There's the siren. What a half of football by Collingwood, who won 4 games for the entire year last year, and maybe they're heading for 3 out of 3 at the start of year 2000. They lead by an astonishing 14-7 to 6 goals 10. Barry Stoneham's with us. I can't believe it, Bat.
No, it's an amazing first half effort from Collingwood, and I'm sure Carlton are a bit shell-shocked going into the half-time break because a few of their really key players have been down on form. You said Fraser Brown and Aaron Hamill's. Not many marks from Hamill, but certainly, look, they need a bit more run around from the forward line for the Carlton team. But I was just thinking the last couple of minutes, the Magpies needed a cool head because they started to go short and handball wide. But they just compose themselves and just settle down a bit and relax, and they certainly had a great half of football.
Well, they're virtually double their score. They lead by 45 points, 91 to 46. Well, how have Collingwood done it? Let's take a look at some of the stats from the first half. And Carlton just not getting the ball enough. And, well, marks, kicks and handballs, Collingwood a mile in front. Carlton surprisingly winning the centre breaks 12-9. And actually inside 50, Collingwood only lead by 2 there. So some of those do surprise, but Collingwood have had a lot of the ball. Barry Stoneham's with me and Kevin Bartlett.
Yes, for sure. The marks certainly are one thing that stands out, and I think the players of the ilk of the Rockers, of Richardson and also Michael, Pissagia, Como have certainly been very good in the air compared to the Carlton opponents of Hamill and Allen, who have really been, I suppose, a bit lacklustre in the air for Carlton.
Anthony Rocca back in the ruck, and he gets it down to Buckley. Ball comes out wide. Betheris. And that is a high tackle, is it? Yes. Collingwood free kick. And the free will go to Freeborn. Gavin Brown still sitting on the bench. He came back out after half-time. The tracksuit bottoms on, so I doubt whether we'll see Gavin Brown back. He was a star in the first term with 3 goals for the quarter. Mark taken here by Tarrant, who spent some time on the bench in the second quarter. Back at centre half forward. He comes in short. Bradley underneath it. Crumbs for Collingwood. Orchard, good hand pass. Adkins. Ball comes wide to Jukovic. He loses it in a good tackle. Bradley swoops up. Kick goes wide. And, well, apart from anything else, Carlton haven't been kicking the ball as many times as Collingwood, but they haven't been hitting as many targets, not by a long way. Rupert Betheris. Here a week ago, he had something like 15 possessions in 1 quarter of football. Not all of them perfect, but he got it a lot.
Well, he's taken 5 marks and 15 possessions in the first half today. Another good game. Shane O'Brien has been absolutely outstanding. Number 11 for Collingwood. He's had it 19 times. We've really struggled to find out who's been picking him up. McKay from half back to the half forward line. Houghton in front and quick hands to Lappin, who's booted a couple of goals. This is better played by the Blues and thuds it onto the chest of Hamill. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. So they need a good start in this third term. McKay from half back, and Houghton, who's been handy so far in the 3 games he's played for the Blues. Lappin is so clever. Hamill from 45 metres out starts to bend it back, but not enough. Through for a behind. Nine possessions in the first half. Really, it's been Buckley with 18 and O'Brien 19. Great support from Lacuria and Betheris. Being big ball winners for Collingwood.
Snap by Brown. Fraser Brown away to the right and through for a minor score. Now these shots at goal, they need to be making them count. Trailing by 45 at half-time. They need to get back into this game and get back quickly.
And Fraser Brown's one of those players they need to really fire up in the second half. Just 5 times in the first half did he have a possession.
Well, for what it's worth,
well below his best.
Ratton and Brown look as though they might be alternating the job on Shane O'Brien. And between them, they haven't had as much as the Collingwood player. Kick outside the 50, knocked on by Richardson, who's really stood up since he came off the bench. Burns a good hand pass to Buckley. Just gets the hand pass away. Here's Ratton. Back to Allen, All-Australian ruckman. Matty Allen, the kick is terrible. Dropped way short. Nowhere near a Carlton player. And Rupert Betheris takes the mark for the Pies. Towards the southern stand wing. Michael. Oh, can he leap this boy?
And somersault.
And he's hurt himself. Oh, that doesn't look good for Mal Michael. He mightn't even be able to take this kick. ankle or lower leg for Michael.
Well, he's taken 5 marks and he's taken it to a couple of great leaps. He's got this great vertical jump.
Looks like it could be his left knee. He landed with a straight leg. It seemed to have buckled a bit.
Well, he's getting treatment from the staff, and so he's unable to take his kick. Goes to Lucuria, up towards half forward. Oh, roving by Paul Williams. He can go all the way. Bang with a long one. Offline, and it bounces through for a minor score. Williams, 5-goal hero last week, 3 behinds today.
And we can still see Mel Michael there being attended to, and the stretcher is coming out. So this is disappointing. They lost Gavin Brown just before quarter time after Gavin Brown had booted 3 goals. And Mel Michael falling very awkwardly.
You've done an ankle. Saw Jason Ball on Friday. When was that? Friday night? Last week. And he's going to miss a lot of weeks.
Just that left ankle.
Well, that is bad news because he has been spectacular today. And Gavin Brown already injured. He's also been great. He sparked the start they had.
And it was mentioned by Barry Stone before, with Severio Rocker and Anthony Rocker going down there on occasion when Josh Fraser goes into the ruck and Mel Michael. It just gave him 3 pretty tall fellas and 2 very mobile ones at the moment, particularly Mel Michael and Anthony Rocker. And Big Sav, of course, is getting a little bit better, but he's kicked a couple of goals as well just with his size and bulk.
That's for sure. Mel Michaels really is a very good runner, and it's a great lead from that mark he took before. A really strong lead and very quick. And to lose a player of his calibre, because Sav Rocker's not overly quick, but certainly is a very good mobile target. So a big loss for Collingwood having Mel Michael coming off. And certainly left ankle there. He grabbed it as he came down. A fair bit of pain, Mel Michael.
It's the left one we're looking at.
Straight away he was in trouble. I hope it's not an Achilles, because that can be a real problem if that goes.
Yes, I had one go actually a couple of years ago, Joe, and ruptured mine, and that certainly is a very painful injury. But yeah, it could be the Achilles or the ankle, but not a good sight for any footballer off on a stretcher.
Nathan Buckley looking on. The Pies jumped out of the blocks. They led by 16 points at quarter time when they booted 7 goals to 4. 45 points at halftime, 14-7 to 6-10. And unfortunately for the Pies, Mel Michael, who's been one of their keys up forward in a rotating forward line after taking that terrific mark, has injured himself.
5 spectacular marks, and that one cost him what looks like a bad injury. So Collingwood are down 2 players.
And 2 key forwards.
Oh, absolutely. So, well, if the Blues have got some spirit, they might take this on board and say, righto, well, they've played their best football. They've got 2 blokes off the ground. This is our chance.
We did see yesterday with Hawthorn, with Nathan Thompson being injured and also Paul Salmon, that the Hawks responded. Rice kicks the ball long. O'Reilly's the target. Lockyer went to the big punch from behind, pounced on by Hume, centre wing, the half forward line. Whitnell covers a lot of territory, got a bad bounce. Scotty Burns got an absolute beauty. Finds Rocker to Orchard, not quite certain whether he was ready for it, but he's super quick. Runs away from Ratton. Here comes Big Sav. Punched away. O'Reilly got his hands on the ball. Sexton under pressure. Good tackle by O'Brien. McKay tumbles the ball forward. Guess who? Nathan Buckley. Point of the square. 70 metres out. Nathan Buckley. Big bomb. Kicked a point. 93 plays 48.
They're making hard work of it, Carlton, in the defence. Making hard work of the possessions, and really a lot of handballs. Probably overdoing the handball a bit too much.
Nick Davis and Ben Johnson are the 2 remaining Collingwood players on the bench, just going for a gallop around the boundary line. Camporelli eventually to Beaumont. Beaumont's kick to midfield. Ratton swamped. Ball punched forward for Collingwood. Bradley clean bowled. Don't see that too often. Sexton. Kicked by Sexton to half forward. Oh, Lockyer with courage. He was backing into... He didn't know what was coming, and he found out in a hurry.
He's been the real surprise packet. that boy. 15 games last year from East Fremantle. And in the first 2 games of the season, the wins over Hawthorn and Adelaide, he's been a star. Ooh, that's a heavy knock from Lappin.
That was a crude attempt, wasn't it, to spoil?
Well, that might spark this game up. They've had a few wars over the years, Carlton and Collingwood.
Ball's coming back.
Yeah, I think he might have a 50-metre penalty here, and he didn't know it. So he's gone from centre-half back nearly to centre-half forward, and Lappin blew him with umpire Chris Mitchell all the way back.
Well, it had to be 50 metres because he had taken the mark, and then he was taken high. Therefore, that's time wasting. You get 50. You also get 50 these days when you report it.
That kick didn't travel well. Lockyer maybe not seeing too straight at the moment. Michael Mansfield, you're gone! Holding the ball.
Really struggled to get into the game today, your old teammate Michael Mansfield. Just the one possession.
Only 1 touch for the first half.
Oh, he gets the free.
It's unusual.
Well, it must have been a high tackle because he had prior opportunity. Prior lasted for about half an hour. Attempted knock over the boundary line, didn't reach the white line. Taken by Whitnell, centering ball to Bradley. He's with Orchard. Orchard young, Bradley the oldest. Orchard wins the sprint. Josh Fraser's quick too. Here he is against the All-Australian ruckman Matty Allen. Oh, Williams, Collingwood playing their lights out. Great football, Freeborn.
Inside the centre square, here's Tarrant. Well, he's a good Tarrant. He's a good talent. Here's Tarrant. He did have that little bit of an upset, a bit of heartburn with Collingwood. But it's great to see the boy from South Mildura, and drills it. The big Sav. Who's kicked 2, 1 in the first quarter, 1 in the second. The forward line has really worked well today for the Pies, but they have lost now Mel Michael, who was a goal kicker, and Gavin Brown, who also booted 3 in a fantastic opening quarter. Directly in front, he'll shoot from right on 50. A lead by 45 points. Last time those two sides met, 53,500 fans saw the Blues in round 17 belt Collingwood by 57 points. Rocker directly in front. Rams at home. He's got 3.
Well, that's what you want. Get it onto the forward line and have blokes kicking for goal who don't let you down.
That's for sure. It's a beautiful kick save, Rocker. I was really impressed with the speed of Josh Fraser out in the centre wing there.
He's very quick, Barry.
Ran away from Matthew Allen with ease. He picked the ball up off the ground and handball. And the way they've been using the ball disposal-wise, Chris Tarrant's pass to Rocker. A pass also to Tarrant was beautiful. So very, very impressive football from Collingwood.
Well, Collingwood at the moment, an irresistible force. They've got the first goal of the second half. We've been playing nearly 12 minutes. We did have the stoppage for Mal Michael being carried off, and they win it out of the middle again. Lacuria. It goes on towards the 50. Massey back with his hand pass. Mansfield. He didn't hit the target, looking for Beaumont. Williams is quick. Turns him inside out, Williams. The kick. Kinnear. Tarrant. Good mark by Tarrant. And well played by Williams, who's one of those high-priced Collingwood players who for a couple of seasons had a lot of doubters, but he's come back this year firing. Here's Sav again.
Tarrant last week came into the side and played in defence and played at centre-half back, but we have known him mainly as a forward at Collingwood in his short career.
Sav Rocker here going for his 4th. This is about stab pass distance for him. 49 metres. Oh, he's got it. Well, at the moment, the Blues are 100 to 1.
Yes, a very costly turnover there for Carlton with Michael Mansfield. Short passing in the back line and missing his target. And again, I repeat myself, the speed of Collingwood. Paul Williams just blitzed his opponents in and set it up with a ball to Chris Tarrant. And once again, Chris Tarrant finally saved Rocker, who went back and drilled it from about 45 metres out. This is great football.
Severio Rocker has booted 4. He's now kicked 497 career goals. Maybe the big 5-0 coming up today. 500 goals for Sav Rocker. It's on the cards. He's hot. Lockyer has been great. Just belts the ball back to the half-forward line. Beaumont was held by Tarrant. There's no free. Rice was carved up early by Brown. They head straight for the line. And he has been pinged. Collingwood supporters. Adkins. It's a high ball. It's one for the brave. Rocker! Well, big Sav and Anthony are marking power up forward. And listen to the roar around the ground. Capacity house here at the MCG. We're very interested to see what the attendance is when it goes up on the board, because they're standing in the Ponsford stand, they're standing in the Great Northern stand, and they'll be standing if Anthony Rocker can kick this goal.
Inside 50, 8-3 this quarter, Collingwood.
Kicked the goal in the second quarter. Just watch for the reaction behind the goals. None. So he's kicked the behind.
Well, he's got a milestone too. He's on 99 at the moment. That was for goal 100 for his career. And it was greeted with deathly silence. Camporelli in short. Mansfield just. Off the left, a former All-Australian, Michael Mansfield. Big pack. That was a good punch away by Richardson, who was caught about fourth in line. Lappin gets the hand pass out. Lucuria, well done. Williams with Toe and McKay. Oh, well played, Andy McKay. That's great footy. He is facing a barrage down there, and that was as good as it gets. Does look a bit of a mismatch. McKay with the height, Williams with the pace, but Paul Williams, who kicked 5 goals last week, is goalless so far today. Camporelli rips it away. The hand pass to Allen. Blues need to do something quickly. Richardson got a hand to it. The ball was tapped back for him. Whitnell off the ground, showed him the ball, took it away. Lappin, wobbly old kick straight to Lockyer at centre half back for Collingwood. Well, Tarkin Lockyer, he came across the breadth of the country looking for a game of footy. Paid his own way, came over from Perth and has been rewarded. Out of defence, Beaumont worked to the front. Mansfield to Beaumont, good hands, good hand, and the short pass, Hickmott. Bit of extra long influence here with Carlton. Hickmott, Mansfield and O'Reilly. Long, Richardson at the back this time. It comes to Hume, nobody in the goal square. Not a bad effort, but just missed.
2 behinds to Hume. 49-106. They trail by 57 points. Collingwood led by 16 at quarter time and 45 at half time. Richardson has had the job all day on Whitnell. 11 possessions and 6 marks. Whitnell 14 possessions and 4 marks. He has kicked 2 goals. Jugovic off the ground early in the first quarter, takes him on, then bangs the ball down towards Buckley, beaten this time by Nelson. From centre half back, kicks wide. Whitnell's the target. He's a good player. Covers a lot of territory, Barry, for one who's so bulky.
He certainly does. Yeah, he's much fitter this year, I think, and he's a terrific player, Lance Whitnell.
Hot. Great fly over the top. It was Hamill. There was no mark. I thought he may have had enough purchase on the ball. And Lockyer, who is developing into a really good defender, puts it straight back over the line. Took that very heavy knock. Started this third quarter. Now, this is interesting. Lappin's coming off. He's looked dangerous. He's kicked 2 goals, 3, and he's been replaced by Fletcher. Ratton got the ball down towards Whitnell. Check side kick. Burns, his first mistake. The defence has stood up well. Prestigiacomo, a quiet achiever. Across to Baftheris, who's growing in stature. Lucuria sets it up wide to Buckley. From half back, drills it. Tarrant, who's looking very dangerous in this third quarter. Anthony Rocker was short.
Oh.
Needs support. They'll backtrack to see ground. Buckley weighs up the options and pumps the ball back. Looking for Williams, but McKay Too strong overhead. Camporelli has been a good player for Carlton.
And he comes wide to Fletcher. Fletcher up to the wing. Allen, here comes Fraser. Allen takes the mark. Fraser stood up well, and the times he's gone head-to-head against him, he's done pretty well. The youngster in just his third AFL game comes to the front. O'Brien, Lockyer. He was looking back for O'Brien, but Hamill got a hand to it. And the ball's pinned to him. And the umpire will ball it up, much to the protestation of Shane O'Brien, who was the #1 pick in the pre-season draft. And did all his pre-season with Collingwood after coming from Brisbane. Whitnell gets the hand pass out. Bradley a bit of a fumble. Under pressure from Orchard. He's been worried by the kid. Bradley across the ground, all Collingwood. Paul Lacuria just behind centre half back. They're playing to a team plan. They're getting players out in the open. Prestigiacomo up to half forward. Anthony Rocker almost bumped into it by Sexton. Big Anthony. Oh, he had it. He didn't get rid of it by kick or by hand. And that is a free kick to Sexton.
At half back, 106 plays, 49. Sexton pumps the ball long, looking for Houghton. Does well. Hits the ground running. Caught in two minds. Puts Hume under pressure. Looking for Hamill. He's got it. Too far out to score. Mansfield squeezed up in the pocket. Favola has just come onto the ground. Has got it. Now he kicked 12 goals in the Millennium game. He goes short. He was looking for Bradley. It was a shocking kick, and Josh Fraser at 6'6" kicks it off the ground and belts it to the line. Orchard and Tarrant, they're closing quickly. Batheris as well, and Atkins is there. Crunch to the ground was Atkins. But Collingwood players, they ran hard. They sensed they wanted to get that ball. And there was young Tarrant, Orchard and Atkins, three young kids, and they had their eyes only for the ball.
Yep, that's for sure. And a very ordinary kick from Favola, wasn't it? Kicking in the Collingwood runner there, I thought, for a while.
It looked like it, actually, didn't it?
Yeah, he must have called for the ball.
Houghton and Fraser. Josh Fraser pushed out of the way by Houghton. O'Brien dominated the first half. Pumps the ball back. Rocker! He just judged it magnificently. Just got Sexton out of the way. And he's got such good hands.
Now, KB, this is the kick for his 100th goal.
Anthony Rocker started in the ruck. He's been a force up forward as well. Kicked a goal in the first quarter. He's taken 5 marks, 10 possessions. Pies lead by 57 points from 50. They now lead by 63.
Well, a very strong mark from Anthony Rocker. He worked Sexton under the ball very well. Very smart play for a forward and worked him underneath it. Slight push, but just using the body very well. He's such a strong bloke, Anthony Rocker, and he's been a great player today and also this year. The third week of the season, he's been terrific. And if you put Anthony or Sav in the 50-metre zone with a deliberate kick, most of the time they'll get the goal.
.100 goals in his career to the younger Rocker brother Anthony. 17-10 to 6 goals 13. It's a pasting for the Blues at the moment. O'Brien once again out of the middle. They've won nearly every ball out of the middle this quarter, Collingwood. Knocked on by Rocker. Here's Josh Fraser. Worked off it this time. Williams hard at it, and very hard at it. The hand pass out. Half volley for O'Brien, awkward. Didn't have it or didn't think. There's no whistle.
Whoa.
Nelson clears for the Blues. Hickmott. With him is Lockyer. Hickmott runs back into trouble. Rice. Hasn't had a great day, Dean Rice. Lockyer. Jukovic back in the centre square. Spins out of trouble. Goes to ground. Didn't look too good. Hume lost it. Jukovic. Actually, it hit Freeborn, who was running away. Didn't see it coming. Batheris. Well, a lucky kick, and the mark is taken by Josh Fraser.
They were just too persistent then, Barry. Collingwood. They were just so persistent in their chasing and tackling, harassing the pressure.
#1 in the national draft. It's too high for Sav Rocker. He's got a chance now to dash back onto it. Here's Sav in the forward pocket. I'm not sure what that was. It's rushed through by Rice.
And Buckley was just past the point of the square, waving his arms frantically, but I don't think Sav even got a glimpse of him. Rice short, finds Massey. Deep in defence, goes wide. Houghton was the target. Playing in front was Kinnear. Lucuria goes to ground. Freeborn. Great team effort there. Back to Kinnear. Fraser. It's quick at ground level. Mansfield. Again, look at the tackling of Collingwood. He's going to run into an open goal. Magnificent play. Well, if you want to get a tape and show how to chase and tackle, harass, and put the opposition under pressure so they make mistakes, we've just seen it.
Yeah, thoroughly deserves a goal there from Buckley and Collingwood, because even a few plays before this one, just the pressure around the half-back line for Carlton's was immense. Consistent tackling, second and third repeat efforts from Collingwood players really set the goal off for Nathan Buckley, and a great effort from the Collingwood players as a whole.
Well, the goal came to the skipper, Nathan Buckley, but it was set up by the relentless tackling. And the last tackle was laid by Paul Williams, which jolted the ball free. Williams leads the competition in tackles this year, and he's not the sort of player you'd reckon would be. You talk about Libba and players like that, but Paul Williams, who was a spectacular goal kicker last week, he also has laid more tackles than anybody in the league, and that one just set up a goal.
Well, by being so quick, he probably can get himself into a position to run down players, Drew.
Yeah, and he had a real good grip, didn't he? Carlton just being buffeted. They're going sideways. They're going all over the place. It's the way Collingwood used to go under pressure. Collingwood are putting them under this pressure. And Carlton at the moment can't see any way out. They can't see any daylight forward. In this quarter, Carlton have kicked 3 behinds, and Collingwood have added 4 goals, 4. So it's been one-way traffic in the third quarter. Nathan Buckley, brilliant here. O'Brien, Fraser, well done. Buckley followed up. Nathan Buckley just didn't give it enough height. Mansfield might have taken the mark, but didn't. Sav fights at ground level. Who's holding it? Collingwood free kick. Mansfield says, what? Not me up, I didn't have it.
Well, we'd have to see that on replay. Sav tried to get underneath, but then I reckon he elected not to take the ball and sweat it on Mansfield.
Yeah, I think it was there.
Well, Severio has kicked 2 in this quarter, 4 for the game.
They kicked five last week, all coming after half-time, Drew.
It's been a great start to the year for goal kickers. Spider Everett, Matthew Lloyd, Sav Rocker. No, not sure about that. It's left. 4 goals, 1 to Big Sav, and his little brother has kicked 2 goals, 2.
So you really feel for the Carlton back line in a way, because he's coming down with a great rate of knots on the ball from the centre line down to the Collingwood forward line.
It'd be tough playing in defence. Mansfield kicks the ball long. Whitnall's always going to be their target. Lockyer has just been great in defence. He's got 2 to beat. Fraser Brown chips in, pinched it.
Oh, well, does that sum up their day? And his. Fraser's had an absolute Barry Crocker.
Prestigia Como. He's a quiet achiever, no doubt about that. Just really been playing around 50 games now at fullback. Just learning his craft. Johnson off the bench.
Great play.
For a youngster, just up from the under-18s. Had to take on 2 of them. Whitnall on screen. He's kicked 2 goals, 2. He's taken 5 marks in 17 possessions. So he's nearly a lone hand up forward. They've just had the 4 goal kickers. Whitnall's kicked 2, and so has Lappin, and singles the Camporelli and Hamill. 10 individual goal kickers for the Pies. For Bowler. Whitnall marking, doing his own crumbing and roving. Fraser Brown, quick hands. Whitnell gets support from Massey. He's outside of 50. It's a centering kick. Lappin was a high flyer for Vola. Quick snap. He's hit the post.
Tarkin Lockyer to kick in. And he goes to Burns. And Collingwood working it out of defence. Carlton beat them by 88 points on New Year's Eve in the Millennium game, which was part of the Ansett Cup. Couldn't believe it. Oh, Anthony Rocker. Well, he was runner-up in the best and fairest last year, so he did announce his arrival last year. But has he stepped up further? Monster kick to Buckley. Couldn't quite get there. Oh, good hands by Andy McKay. Minute and a half to go to three-quarter time. McKay. In goes Betheras. Put his body on the line. Freeborn's hand pass over the top to Jukovic. Jukovic inside the 50 to Severio Rocker. Nest of Carlton players. Beaumont. They've had to flood back there. They've been under siege, the back line. Houghton getting some boos from the Collingwood fans. And Hickmott's kick. That's not a bad effort. Almost a mark to Favola, not paid. Comes to Lockyer. Lockyer's kick close to the boundary line. Williams has run himself ragged, poor Williams. Just forward of the wing. A minute to go to three-quarter time. A 70-point lead to the Pies, which from the New Year's Eve game is 158-point turnaround. Thank you. My maths was never any good. But you knew what I was getting at.
Well, it's payback time by the Pies for that Millennium game. There's some slack checking. Anthony Rocker. It's beaten by a good player in the best and fairest last year, Nathan Buckley. Well, he's kicked 2. His brother booted 4. They've kicked 3 goals between them in this third term. He says, show me the mark.
O'Bree's coming off, and it's worth looking at his stats. 17 kicks, 7 handballs, 5 marks and 6 tackles.
And 2 goals.
Now, the average for a player per game is what? 1 or 2 tackles? 1 tackle, you're going all right. The champs average about 3. He's had 6.
Now, the siren has sounded. So Anthony Rocker to put Collingwood 76 points up. There, as Drew said, they lost by 88 points in the Millennium game. What a way to finish this third term if Anthony Rocker can stand and deliver. He's done it very, very wide and put it out on the full. And a bit of a wry smile from Anthony Rocker. But they've gone in at the main break, the last break, three-quarter time. 18-12, 120. A 70-point lead over Carlton, 6-14-50. As David Parkin comes down, Stephen Kernahan was there. They'd be a bit shell-shocked. Because I think most of us, Drew, felt that whilst Collingwood had been very good in the opening 2 games against Hawthorn and Adelaide, that the seasoned performers of Carlton, growing in confidence after playing in the grand final last year, might prove a bit too much for this young Collingwood side.
Well, so many of the Blues just haven't got much of the footy. Under 10 possessions. Hickmott has had 9, Mansfield 8, Fraser Brown 8, Rice 5, Allen 8, Favola 4, O'Reilly off early, 3 possessions. Beaumont has had 9, Fletcher 5 in limited opportunities. Kuta Feedes has had 9. Hardly sighted, Kuta. And this is a 70-point lead to Collingwood at the last change. Umpire Humphrey Smith about to get us underway for the final term. Carlton can play for pride in this last quarter, but Collingwood have gone through a decade of getting some hidings at the hands of the Blues, and will they be lapping this up with their new team of youngsters? Into attack quickly. Lucuria, Rocker, Josh Fraser. The ball beats him out of bounds. Talk about starting the season with 3 straight wins for a new coach. And what about your bloke?
Yes, it's
Bomber Thompson.
It's a great feeling, isn't it? With 3-zip at the start of the year, really makes a big difference for the club and also the team. The team are really happy to have 3 wins from 3 starts.
It's one thing for Mick Malthouse, who at least has coached a couple of premierships with the West Coast Eagles, but Mark Thompson starting out his career with 3-0. Adkins does well. Burns balked with the hand pass and then drives it long. Fraser is there. Oh, it comes down. O'Brien. What a game Shane O'Brien has had.
Definitely nearly BOG. Shane O'Brien certainly been a fantastic player. And in this marking contest, there was a one-on-one duel, Carlton and Collingwood, and then a Carlton player came to make it 2-on-1 and left O'Brien free on his own behind the pack. And really, I suppose, should have left it at 1-on-1 instead of 2-on-1. And O'Brien was a smarter player in that duel by staying back and getting the goal.
Well, we struggled to find an opponent for him in the first half when he had 19 possessions, because none of those possessions seemed to be a contested possession. He was just able to run around the ground and create havoc. Bradley from the centre square. It's been rare to see Carlton break from the centre. Prestigiacomo happy to run it through for behind.
2 defeaters is off the ground, must be injured. Haven't seen him in the second half.
Didn't get a touch in the third quarter, so I think he must have gone off.
Matthew Allen also starting on the bench this last quarter. Pies by 75 points. Freeborn from half back. Josh Fraser. And in front of Sexton, forces it back over the line. 11 individual goal kickers for Collingwood. Just the 4 goal kickers today for Carlton. 3 goals to Shane O'Brien, 3 also to Gavin Brown, all coming in the first quarter. 2 to Anthony Rocker, and Severio Rocker with 4 goals. Orchard on the burst, inside 50. Again, Big Sav was the target. Look out, here comes Buckley. Try to centre the ball. McKay short to Sexton. Some run out of defence. Beaumont. Buckley tried to run him down. Fletcher goes wide to Brown. Been below his best today. The handball was a poor one. Camporelli recovers and pumps the ball inside 50. He's looking for Hamill. Got the bounce he wanted. Short kick for Vola. Prestigiacomo thumps the ball forward. Hamill rockets the ball back. Camporelli will set it up wide and finds Hickmott. 60 metres out. So he will concede ground to Camporelli. Point of the square. Whitnell, who's been very good today. It's been an interesting duel with Richardson, but Whitnell has been Carlton's best player. He's kicked a couple of goals. He's taken 6 marks, and he's had 19 possessions. Richardson's had 6 marks and 12 possessions. 45 metres out for Lance Whitnell. Through for a behind.
Well, we're 4 minutes into the last quarter, and Carlton still haven't kicked a goal since half-time.
2 goals, 3 to Whitnell.
Lockyer has got the black and white mouth guard, so he's playing with Collingwood with pride. Davis up towards centre wing. Lacuria taken down by McKay. No whistle. Too slow, McKay. Just gets the hand pass away. Fletcher to Camporelli. His kick in short and too short. Burns. He dived in front of a moving locomotive. Magnificent football. Now, the game's well and truly won, but it's acts of courage like that that'll lift this club and might keep them going who knows how far in the year 2000. Freeborn in short to O'Brien. O'Brien, at the moment, Mansfield was on the mark. This ball favours Carlton. The hand pass up to Hamill. He goes long, and he's offline to the right. And Whitnell going crook at the top of the goal square. He wanted it, but Hamill blazed away for a behind. So Aaron Hamill has kicked 1 goal, 2.
2 players in the Collingwood's defence. Lockyer and Burns have been very impressive today, haven't they? 2 very similar type players.
Been terrific, Barry. Lockyer, of course, a more inexperienced player than Scotty Burns, but he's been very good in every game so far this year. Orchard hugs the boundary line. Beats McKay over. Butcher's got the job of running with Craig Bradley. Skipper today, 15 possessions for the Blues. Anthony Rocker barking instructions. He's got hot in the beat. Tried to take it out of the air. Falls on top of the ball. They'll pile on top. Ball up. Collingwood by 73 points. They led by 16 points at quarter time, 45 points at half time, 70 points at three-quarter time. Now 73 points. They got defeated by 88 points by the Blues in the Millennium game, the first of the Ansett Cup series, so it's payback time. Burns to Lockyer, combined magnificently out of defence. The young Ben Johnson, who thumps the ball back towards centre half forward. He's looking for Josh Fraser. Mansfield has pounced on the ball. Tarrant to O'Brien, a centering kick. He was looking for Josh Fraser. Sexton got in the way. Beaumont with quick hands back to Lappin. At centre half back, unloads, kicks long towards centre half forward. Hamill, good grab. To Hume. This is better play by the Blues. And Whitnell has taken the mark, not paid. For Bowler. Loose ball. Hume goes to ground, kicked off the ground by Favola.
Feels a bit stiff, wasn't it?
One behind.
No mark being paid for Lance Whitnell.
Well, for mine, he took the mark.
Yeah.
Thought he had enough purchase on the ball. That's good enough for mine. He had the ball. And he was actually going back to his mark then, Barry, when the ball fell out of his hand.
Ball gets to the back when it's dropped in the pack situation. Comes to Bradley. Way to Beaumont. The punch from behind was disciplined. Jukovic to Burns. Oh, well done, Davis. Touch of speed off the mark. Set his teammate up for a bit of trouble. Lappin didn't have time to get rid of it. Hand pass out to Allen, who's just come back on. Brown. His kick just up in the air. And the mark taken by Lockyer, who has been really terrific, this kid. That's now 16 uses of the ball. The Curia at right halfback. Up to centre wing. Tarrant. He did keep it in. Knocked down by McKay. Williams. Brown. Delayed the hand pass to Allen. Floats a hand pass. Fletcher had a bit of a juggle and was pushed in the back. Advantage to Brown. Hand pass to Ratton. Ratton in short, and Whitnell marks. Lance Whitnell trying to break this long drought for the Blues. Haven't kicked a goal since half-time. They kicked just 4 behinds in the third quarter and have started this final term with 4 more. Whitnell from 48 metres swings back and a goal.
No, he's a good player, Barry.
Yeah, he's certainly his third goal for the day. He's taken 7 marks. He's been very busy, 20 disposals. He's been their best player by far, Lance Whitnell. They are playing a bit better brand of football this quarter. Obviously, Collingwood will get a bit more tired as the game wears on, but they're actually using Lance Whitnell through centre half forward a bit better in this last quarter. But certainly, he's been a very good player for the Carlton team today.
KB, the crowd has just been posted 82,669. It's not bad. When you're the home club, you pocket most of that. Carlton lost $1 million last year at Collingwood, so it's been a pretty good day financially as well.
And here's Camporelli hitting Whitnell on the chest. It's been a lone hand up forward. Bit of early support from Matthew Lappin. He's got Ben Kinnear playing on him now. 20 possessions and 8 marks. He's going for his 4th goal. And he's kicked it.
It just shows the importance of getting the ball out of the centre. I mean, Carlton have been, I suppose, lacking in that area today. And Camporelli there kicking the ball down the throat of Lance Whitnell, who was in front all the time. And that's the beauty of Lance Whitnell when he does play. He's always in front as a centre half forward. It's very important for a forward to be in front, and he always is. And a good full credit to him. He's been a very good player for them. 4 goals in a losing team.
So 10 goals the margin. 82,669. The biggest crowd for the season by about 30,000. Paul Williams, and not surprisingly, they've both been Collingwood crowds. Buckley at the back, interfering and pushing in the backs as umpire Mitchell. Free kick to Nelson, who goes wide to Ratton. Kicked by Brett Ratton to McKay. Whitnell gives him something at half forward. Bit of a fumble. Left it for his opponent. Then McKay into his back, and that'll be a free kick to Kinnear. Very little's gone right for the Blues today. Kinnear's kick to Buckley at half forward. Good mark. Gavin Brown off the ground, injured in the first quarter after starting brilliantly with 3 goals. And Mal Michael carried off the ground on a stretcher after injuring an ankle. So they're a couple of men short, Collingwood, but giving Carlton a father of a hiding. Camporelli's got it here. It was meant for Allen. It missed him by a mile. Prestigiacomo was in there. Anthony Rocker back in defence. Away to Freeborn. Good setup, but not a great hand pass. Davis. Well, he didn't dispose of that properly. Favola to Brown. Fraser Brown to Whitnell. He's having a big finish, Lance Whitnell. He's going for his 3rd for the term. Collingwood have had to endure 10 defeats in their last 11 meetings with Carlton. Carlton have been too good for them for a decade. Whitnell. It's close. I think he's got it. That's 5.
5 goals to Lance Whitnell. A great effort. Just watching Nathan Buckley there. He's a consummate professional. He picked the wrong option with the kick, and the side's 10 goals up and went really cooking himself. I watched him after he made the option. Just the young guys can really learn from him, and I'm sure that's why they're going so well now, because whatever he does 100%, and he's been really great chaser and a good disposal. Just going cooking himself was fantastic before.
Well, Lance Whitnell take a bow. 5 goals, 3 goals in this final quarter. He's kicked 5 goals, 3. He's taken 9 marks, 22 possessions. He's playing Collingwood on his own. Buckley thumps the ball back. Rockerson pushing and shoving, a test of strength. O'Reilly thumps the ball away. Beaumont cross half back, some fancy footwork, goes short, sets it up to Mansfield, who has struggled today. Kicks wide. Nelson, casual bounce. So the Blues coming for it. It's Whitnell again. Kicks long. Allen's the target. Couldn't take it. Houghton, Hume, quick snap. It's another goal to Carlton. Well, Mick Malthouse won't like this. The Blues were goalless in that 3rd term, but in this last quarter, they've already booted 4 goals.
It's a bit too late, because they're really attacking the goals much more than they did before in the first 3 quarters. The first 3 quarters are going wide and shortening the wreck. This last quarter, they've got Lance Whitnell leading up, kicking the ball down to the goal square in the corridor. It's just much better football, but all a bit too late, unfortunately.
Ball back in the centre with umpire Howlett. Still over 10 minutes remaining in this game. Collingwood had certainly set up this victory by 3/4 time with a 70-point lead. For them, it would be a bit of a shame if they concede 8 or 9 goals in the last quarter. But Carlton are coming forward time after time. Allen with the free kick. Ball hacked out of the air by Fletcher. And the ball out of bounds, wide in the forward pocket. More Geelong influence at Carlton through Fletcher.
There's a few Carlton boys out there today with 4 of them, and not one of them really have done much either. They've been pretty quiet, all 4 of them today.
Fletcher played reserves for Geelong,
right,
didn't he?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
And what, Gary was footy manager?
Gary Fletcher, his father, yes.
Well, outside the 50. Good tackling by Prestigiacomo. Still in pretty hard. Johnson turned the wrong way into trouble, but O'Brien phones Buckley. Very wide, and it bounces out in between wing and half forward.
Well, early in this quarter, they led by 76 points, the Pies. They now lead by 48 points. Blues can thank Lance Whitnell.
They came into this game both 2-0, 2 wins, no losses. The percentages were 136.52 and 136.61. Carlton by a fraction of a percentage point in front of them on the ladder. So the Pies are going to space them after a win like this.
It's a ball up on centre wing. Josh Fraser has been used sparingly today. Versus Allen. LaCuria beaten by Ratton. Quick hands to Camporelli. Slapped away that time by Williams. Fraser, quick kick. Anthony Rocker couldn't take a one-hander. Big Sav comes through. Crunch Sexton. O'Reilly slaps the ball out. Orchard is quick. Good tackle by Massey. Back to Adkins. Quick snap by the youngster. Great snap. Well, he's a talent, this young boy from Leon Gather. 17 games in reserves last year. Has stepped up, and in the first 3 games, he has been a beauty.
Well, I reckon he has bulked up a little bit in the off-season, but boy, he must have been killing them in the reserves last year. That's all I can say. Just a wonderful first 3 games of league football for young Damien Adkins. He's kicked a couple, one in the first quarter and that one in the last. Josh Fraser wins in ruck down to O'Brien. Massey gets in the way. Gee, they've got numbers, Collingwood. Josh Fraser again. High and long. Williams camped underneath it. Camporelli wasn't playing the ball. Williams, oh, clever. And Anthony Rocker low to the ground just outside 40 metres. And Rocker saying to the umpire, what, 1 centimetre to the right, is it, sir? Okay.
He has a bit of trouble lining himself up, Anthony, doesn't he, with the umpire? Wants to be absolutely specific.
And then marks his spot on the ground. 8 marks. He has been good. He's kicked 2 goals. And it's a good view behind him with the Collingwood faithful. There's even a Ferrari flag there, straight from the Grand Prix. But Anthony, unfortunately, a few times today has tried to kick the air out of the ball, and he's kicked 2 goals, 3 and 1 out of bounds. 8 minutes left.
Actually, he seems to be a better kick when he shoots from about 50-55. He just seems to relax a little bit more and just allows the lead to come through, Barry.
He certainly does. It's a beautiful kick outside 50. Rarely misses.
Sexton. Mark or free kick. The mark's being paid. On half back. Lappin. Kicked a couple of early goals. Kicked 2-3 in the first half. Wasted a couple of opportunities. Burrows in at ground level, taken by Josh Fraser. Had it and lost it. Orchard is quick to Burns. Been magnificent today, Scotty Burns. Kicks to centre half forward. He's looking for Big Sav on the stretch. Well, as he gets fitter, Barry, he's going to be a big problem, because when he's at his absolute best and he's fit, he's an awesome player, Sav Rocker.
He certainly is. He had a quiet year last year, but the year before he kicked 80 or 90 goals, and look, he started off this year very well, and he's moving well, he's taking strong marks, kicking goals, and if he's playing well for the whole season for Collingwood, he's a real big focal point.
He's going for his 5th goal. He booted 5 last week as well. Severio Rocker from 48 metres has nailed it.
Well, that's 5 for Big Sav for the 2nd week in a row.
Well, the big men have been dominating today. Sav Rocker, Anthony Rocker, and Josh Fraser has only had 8 touches, but his 2nd and 3rd efforts during the game have been fantastic. He's certainly been like a small man for a 6'6" player, and I think he's got a really impressive 2nd efforts, Josh Fraser, throughout the whole game today.
Well, Sav Rocker back there on Stephen O'Reilly. O'Reilly, playing his first game for the Blues today, has had just 3 touches. A bit of volleyball going on in the middle until Buckley gets hold of it, and he says to O'Brien, "You have it." O'Brien further afield. Batheris looked awkward. Lockyer across the ground. Here he is, Josh Fraser. His skills for a big fella are remarkable. He's a bit slow that time, and he's caught from behind, but there was no whistle on the play. Comes back to his man, Allen. Allen wide to Beaumont. Beaumont pops it up for Brown. He's getting a few hoots, Fraser Brown. Taken away from him by Ratton. I think Rat reckons he's going better than Fraser. That's not a bad shot. Just offline. It's his first score for the day. Brett Ratton, well, I think he can plead guilty to sharing the responsibilities on O'Brien for at least some of the time. And Ratton was a best and fairest in a premiership side.
Lockyer. He's taken a big step. O'Brien has been a dominating player today on the ball. It's been a wonderful pickup from Brisbane. Johnson hits it hard. Nelson does well. Clever play back to Massey. Tries to find Fletcher. Didn't hit his mark. In Bradley. Orchard, his shadow is there, and here's Burns driven into the ground without the ball. No free. Buckley comes away with it to Rocker. Anthony Rocker from inside the centre square to his brother.
You won't get a better pass than that.
Well, I love seeing players, Barry, kick the ball quickly through the air.
Oh,
and some players have that ability to really thump the ball, move it quickly through the air. And he's one of those sorts of players.
That was a perfect pass. If you're a leading forward coming out in the lead, there's one pass you'd love to have. And there was a player out wide on his own. Didn't even look at him. He just knew, bang, Sav Rocker was coming out. And a really great pass to Sav.
Severio Rocker. Again, 48 metres out. He's kicked 6.
Well, he does take a while to warm to his task. Last week he kicked 5, all in the second half. Today he's kicked 6, 4 of them in the second half.
It's been a great play today. And young Orchard, too, has been a good find, hasn't he? He's shadowed Bradley. He worried him out of the contest before. And just little taps here and there. And seeing that pass again, that was magnificent. And the Rocket boys have been on fire today.
And just to add further spice to this, Severio Rocker's kicked 6. He's now on 499 goals. 5.5 minutes left. Can he bring up the 500 in a big Collingwood victory over the traditional rival? They've lost it in the middle. Brown away to Mansfield. Mansfield's kick. Whitnell dropped one for a change. Excellent tackling. Jukovic put the pressure on. The spills come to Batheris. Back to midfield. Williams went hard at it. Camporelli cornered like a rabbit in the light. Comes up to half forward and Ratton marks. Short pass is good. Allen right in front, about 40 metres out. And the way he went to ground and dragged himself up. Looks as though Matty Allen can't wait to hear the siren. Camporelli's been great for the Blues. He's had 28 possessions. He's had 22 kicks, and the next best Carlton player, well, Whitnell's had 18. He's been sensational. The next best is 12. That's a miss by Allen. And the Collingwood fans are starting to get cocky now, and they're cheering Carlton misses. Oh, this is a day out for them.
145 plays 80. 6 goals to Severio Rocker. 3 to Gavin Brown in the first quarter. Left the field just before quarter time. 3 to Shane O'Brien. And 2 to Anthony Rocker. Here's Williams on the burst. He'll take him on. Runs to 50. Pushed it right. Just hasn't had his kicking boot on today. He's kicked 4 behinds. 1 in each of the quarters. O'Reilly. As Faulty Towers would say, this has been an orally day. Allen couldn't quite get his hands on the ball. Sexton just slides past his opponent and finds Rice. They break wide. Hickmott. And this time finds Houghton. who all day has been getting the boos. He's shown a bit today, though, Trent Hotton. He's taken 7 marks. He's had it 10 times. He's shared the ruck work with Matthew Allen. Looks like he just might be a good pickup.
He's a very good mark. He's certainly a great mark, Trent Hotton, and could be a valuable player down the forward line.
And the Roar tells the story that he's missed.
Three minutes 22 left on the clock. What a victory this is. 65 points is the margin. Actually, at the moment, they're losing this last quarter by 5 points. So the perfect scenario would be to win the quarter, win the game. Sav kick is 7th for 500. Going that way. Ben Johnson. Buckley, it's in the right hands. In short, Lacuria. Right in front, 45 metres out. Paul Lacuria having a good look. I did think that Buckley might look up and see Sav and drill it a bit longer. So can Lacuria get his first score for the day? Everybody else has kicked a goal from him. Why not him? Kicks from about 48. Oh, what a kick!
Well, it was great play from Collingwood from the kick out. They went short out to a spare player out in the pocket. Then one long kick to the wing to Chris Giacomo, and then down to Buckley, and Buckley is a beautiful disposal of the ball right in the chest of Lacuria, and just goes from strength to strength. The Magpies are now 71 points ahead, and a great win for them coming up.
Paul Lacuria has been a great pickup from Sydney as a young player. He went up there in the Northern Under-18s and injured his knee. And the Pies picked him up and got Mark Orchard back at the same time. Today they've both been very good players. Whitnell's been outstanding for Carlton. Hume burrows into Camporelli. He's been one of their good tries as well. Finds Hickmott out wide from 55 out. Kicks a goal. His first. Well, they were goalless in the third term. They've booted 5 goals in this last quarter.
Yeah, certainly Adrian Hickmott's been a relatively quiet player today. He's had something like 15 touches, 6 marks. Not a bad outlay for the day, but no real damage in possessions. But certainly a nice goal there to finish off the day.
Well, when Lacuria kicked the goal for Collingwood, he became the 12th goal kicker. I remember, Baz, when you at Geelong broke the all-time record up at Carrara. I think it was 14 that day, wasn't it?
Yes, that's right. Yes, 1992 it was. Many years ago now, Drew.
I was calling that day. We were counting you down. Here's Buckley on the 50. Bang! He hooked it. He's kicked 1 goal 3 today, Nathan Buckley. Came into the game second in the competition for number of kicks in the opening 2 rounds behind Camporelli. They played on opposing sides today. Camporelli has certainly added to his stats with 22. Buckley's had 26. So they'll be still running the Quinella leading kicks in the comp.
Allen from behind. Buckley just keeps on winning the ball. Anthony Rocker. Good vision. And a slips catch to Lacuria. He was outside of 50. Severio Rocker needs 1 goal for his 500th in AFL football. He's booted 6 today. It's been kicked over his head. Off hands, through for a behind. Just under a minute and a half left in this final quarter. 154 plays 87. 67-point lead to the Pies. They lost the Millennium game by 88 points. So there's a turnaround. Johnson, good strong body work, finally takes the ball over for a toss back in.
It's our worst nightmare, you know. We'll have Collingwood supporters coming out of the woodwork and barreling us.
That's a 155-point turnaround from the Millennium game.
Amazing.
Now, when you left that Millennium game that you called, Drew, someone had said, listen, Collingwood will be 67 points up the next time they play. You probably would have thought they were gone mad.
Yeah.
Williams inside the centre square. Gee, Burns has been good today. They've had so many good players. Davis kicks a high ball. Buckley was a high flyer. Mansfield at ground level, tackled by O'Brien, has been magnificent today. Rice, a desperate lunge. Clever play to keep it alive. Kicked off the ground by tired Sexton. Back to Beaumont. Looking for Houghton. It's out on the full. Jurkovic.
Got 30 seconds to get it to Sav.
The edge of the square. Finds Atkins. Got about 10 young players, Collingwood, in the side today. Very inexperienced players. So here's a chance. Rockets the ball to Burns. Big kick by Scotty Burns.
That's 13 different goal kickers. Have they shared it around? And Burns, doesn't he warrant kicking a goal? 25 possessions, 9 marks, a brilliant game.
He's a tough competitor, Scotty Burns, a real hard nut down the back line, but he made a join the list of goal kickers today as he drilled one 55 metres out. That young Atkins set it up there from the half-back line. A very impressive young player. And Scotty Burns, yeah, great game for him also for the Collingwood team.
And that means their lead is now 73 points. And so it means they've won every quarter. They led by 70 at three-quarter time. Burns marks at halfback. We're counting down. Here comes the siren. Collingwood back in town. Unbeaten. And huge victors over their rivals by 73 points in front of 82,000 at the MCG. And the football world might never quite be the same.
So they got the song on very quickly then.
They'll play.
They will play this theme a few times over.